Diddy, meanwhile, today, oh boy, texts, and this, I knew they were going to do this, but a lot of texts from early in the relationship.
Yeah,
when she
was falling in love.
Yeah, crazy about him. She was asked, I thought this was an interesting exchange. They were talking about her 2023 lawsuit, and the person for the defense was suggesting that
civil lawsuit,
she had ruined his career, and she more or less agreed. And I thought, is that their way of trying to tell the jury that he's already been punished?
Yeah,
maybe.
Sure. But has he really been that punished? That law?
No.
I mean,
no.
It was $20 million. That's nothing for him.
He shot 3 people in 1999. Shot 3 people, and someone else went to prison. Yeah, that we know of. And then
we did learn today that this whole mess would have been avoided in 2012 almost. Did you see that part of what happened to him in 2012?
No, 2012.
He overdosed.
Oh yeah, at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah,
right
after an FO. After a freak-off party, and then they went to a sex club, and then he went to the Playboy Mansion.
Well, he should have gotten
sex drive.
He should have gotten IVs before he went to the Playboy Club.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, Tex, I'm always ready to freak off, LOL, Cassie says. I can't wait to stare at some big black dick. That's from 2009. Nice that her husband is watching this when they're reading these texts. She's reading them, actually.
He had to leave court yesterday. Have you seen her husband?
Yeah.
Not what I thought he would look like.
What does he look like?
White.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought I was going to see.
He's like a male model, I guess, and an actor.
Oh, okay. Is he successful?
He's been in stuff that we've seen because they had like 4 credits. I'm like, oh, I've seen 2 of those, but you would not recognize him.
He's not a mogul.
No.
Right. No. Yeah, I think she's done with moguls. It's kind of weird to think about this, too, that, this is all about her being his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But he's also her boss. I mean, he signed her to a 10-album deal, and for some reason, only 1 album gets made. How does that happen? I mean, that says a lot.
Does that go into the whole trial?
No, I don't think that's
matter
really
that he was
talked
the
about
boss?
that. I don't think that's come up because it's not really part of the case.
Although that's part of coercion, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Maybe the contract stipulated that she had to do all of those extra activities.
Freak-outs?
A certain amount of freak-offs.
Well, then he'd be off the hook.
That's a year, yeah. I mean...
And we got hit by the new lawsuit today, too, that described his wieners at Tootsie Roll.
That's why.
So awesome. Oh, womp womp. That hurt worse than anything.
And she said she wasn't scared because she didn't think it hurt that bad.
She said that?
Yes. She called it the itty bitty ditty.
I didn't read the whole story. What else do I need to know?
That explains everything.
Well, what exactly happened? Do you want to know what exactly happened?
Is it like all the other suits?
Well, it's a rape suit. It was May 2001. They hung out a few times at his recording studio and restaurants and nightclubs. The 4th time they met, he took her back to his apartment, let her into his bedroom, locked the door, pushed her down, placed his hand around her throat, said, "I'm going to suck the life out of you." And then while gripping her neck, he took his other hand, unbuckled his pants, and then, quote, pulled out his erect, bare-skinned penis, which appeared to be the length and girth of a large Tootsie Roll.
Ah, boy.
She recalls feeling relieved by the size of his penis, claiming it wouldn't hurt as much when he raped her due to the lack of length and girth, saying she thought his penis was an itty-bitty ditty. She screamed for him to get off, told him to stop, and that she didn't want to have sex. He overpowered her and kept, nailing her, and then he pulled out and blew up on her body. She says he then backed away from her. She slid off the bed, went to the bathroom to wipe semen off of her.
Oh.
Then she exited the bathroom. Diddy was naked on the bed, and she ran for the door and unlocked it. A bodyguard was standing outside the room. She said, "Where's the exit?" He gestured downstairs. She left the place, and Diddy's staff drove her home.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a lot of...
She said a friend was with her, too, so there's a witness of sorts.
There's been talk about all of the people around Diddy, and, are these people going to face any consequences? Because a lot of them knew exactly what was going on in many of these cases. And again, we're back to what is complicit, what is not complicit, because it seemed like there was a time where if you were even complicit, that you were just as bad.
I'm really confused, though, because I thought she testified today that some of the staff did not know, but the staff that did had a real big problem with it. But, they didn't stop it, so they'd be in trouble. But
They don't mind working for him, though, because he pays them well. So,
she
don't give a shit.
And this was from her that they didn't know what was going on. And I'm sitting there going, there's no way. If all this is going on, if half of this is going on, you would think the staff and the security would know.
He's so impulsive that I cannot believe they wouldn't, most of them, see examples of what an impulsive asshole he was, because he was crazy. I mean, he beat her up with two of her friends sitting there in the room.
Yeah.
They have to climb on his back to make him stop.
That could make them afraid too, right?
Yeah, no, that's
leaving,
true.
Going,
Sure.
this guy's gonna
I think
fucking
it's
kill
true.
me.
There was a case like this when I was in Phoenix. Remember Charlie Keating?
SNL or PN. What is it?
No, he had a real estate empire.
Oh,
His
okay.
Lincoln Savings and Loan, and what they did was they got all of their old customers, and they took them out of safe investments and put them in junk bonds.
Yep.
And a lot of these people lost all their money. A lot of old people lost their homes. It was a horrible, brutal scandal. I mean, involved thousands and thousands of people. So they were naturally, in this case, they were trying to get his employees to come out with it. What was the strategy there? And turned out this guy really paid his employees well, really well.
Oh, nobody would turn on him.
No, and even the secretaries were making $100,000. This is in like 1987.
Wow.
And so, even they would be like, "Oh, he's the most charming man. He was wonderful. He would never do this." And so they really didn't get very far with the help, but they did convict him, I believe, and that might have been. He went to prison, in fact.
Yeah.
I know he did. I think he got out, he got an appeal, or maybe he served a sentence. I can't remember. Boring case, but
Organized crime, though, when they bust the top of the organization, what happens to the henchmen then? Do they get everybody, or do they turn them?
Not really. I think they do like to concentrate the blame in one place. It's easier. But cases like these are complicated because you do have all these people who, they probably are really well paid. They love working for this guy. It's not really a job. They're just, hey, we just got to put together a freak out. They fly in private jets and a lot of extra pink cocaine around.
Yep, they meet famous people.
Yeah. But let's see, what else? Was there anything else in that? That's pretty much the suit then, right?
For
raping her?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And I think that's just another civil suit. So,
well, anyway, so the 2009, I was completely uninterested in the 2009 text. I wonder how the jury felt about that, because I felt like that's the beginning of their relationship. Of course she loves him and she misses him. And
it's the beauty of a redirect, right?
Yeah, she wants to do freakouts, and I think she did those to make him happy. I'm not sure she really loved it, although Boozy Badass's tweet was saying, "I believe she came in those freak-offs."
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh, they should add him to the to his staff, the lawyer. Have him cross
come out there and say that.
Yeah.
What does he
Boozy
base that
Badass
on?
Esquire.
Well, let's just read. Let's make this. Let's make his points clear. Boozy Badass tweeted, "If anything, this should be a domestic violence abuse case, not a sex trafficking case.
Which is
she
what
enjoyed the wild sex parties and all the extravagant gifts on the back end.
Which is kind of what his lawyers have said all along.
You mean to tell me she didn't enjoy it? All the years of sex parties? I'm pretty sure she came during those freakouts. Trying to give somebody life in prison for this is bullshit."
He was probably there.
Life in prison for making her come? What the fuck?
That's a good closing argument.
Bullshit.
They should just read his tweets for the closing argument. What an asshole.
That was kind of interesting. I don't know why the defense would get into this, but they started getting into Kid Cudi. And when she was cheating with him, well, because she was cheating with him,
She was
probably,
doing freak-offs while dating Kid Cudi.
and she said, well, he was cheating the entire time he was with me, so it was,
Well, that doesn't make
as
it
much
right.
revenge as any other thing.
But I think the idea is, yeah, you're dating this guy, so you're out, but you're still going back, so maybe this is consensual. Like, why would you go back if you have?
Yeah, that's true.
But that's where him being her boss comes into play too.
Well, she also can't fully cut him off, right? Because
Yeah.
she's afraid of him.
Yeah.
So she's on a burner phone with Kid Cudi. She's afraid of his response, which turns out to be pretty reasonable because he blows up Kid Cudi's car. And then also she said she talked to Kid Cudi on and off, and that she used a burner phone when she was still with Diddy and when she was not with Diddy. She still used a burner phone because I think she was afraid that he would get in her phone, right? I mean, I assume that's why.
I think the most laughable thing the defense did today was suggest that the infamous 2016 beating at the Intercontinental that he was withdrawing from painkillers.
Blame it on the drugs. But
And that's what led to it. Which I'm like, if that happened, he would have run back to go diarrhea in the room, or there'd be a brown spot on that towel.
I don't know many people withdrawing from drugs who run around beating the shit out of people.
Or that energetic.
They don't have the energy.
No.
Plus, you'd have diarrhea in the middle of it and be embarrassed.
Yep. Stomach.
That's the only thing that would make that video better. Is if Diddy had, well, not.
That's why he's wearing a
I'm
towel.
sorry, it's the only thing that would be good in that video because
Right.
it's pretty horrific. But if he diarrheaed all over it,
is that a defense, though? I mean, that's meant to be.
Yeah, that's not. You can't beat the
excuse.
shit out of people because you're withdrawing from drugs.
it's an excuse. It's a lame excuse. And she said, I don't remember him going through withdrawal at the time. So
Did you see they said they showed the jury 5 pictures of the freakout?
oh
I was wondering what were they showing because it sounded
know.
like the jury was like, oh God.
yeah. Wait. So who would have shown that? The defense?
I don't know who introduced them, but they said
would
the
think-
jury saw 5 pictures of freak-offs. And
Just like people all over, all contorted and.
That had to be the prosecution, Drew.
it sounded like it, Trudy, because it
And
sounded like the
inside
jury
each
was like,
other.
ugh. Like they just really did not want to look at these pictures.
I bet you boozy badass wants to look at him.
Then they had the texts after the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel freak-off. We already seen some, but these were a little different. It was Diddy saying, help! And then, if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again.
Wow.
Oh, if only. And
Yeah,
then
I guess he would just keep calling her and calling her and calling her until she answered, which is a form of control.
Again, I think I just would have murdered him at some point. Just found some way to like poison him or
Yeah.
I think a
push him
lot
down
of
some
people would
stairs
see that as the only way out. But
spike
she
his
said,
drugs.
after he said, if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again, she heard his voice really shortly after that because he came over and started banging on her door and yelling at her.
Of course. Crazy.
So he lied. He's a
can't-
liar.
Can't believe he got away with this for like 20 years, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I
Right?
just think people are scared
money.
of him.
Yeah.
And still, there's been almost no one. There's more people, it seems, on his side publicly. Not people that probably have a lot of influence, but very few on her side. And Aubrey O'Day said, yeah, I've been speaking out for her all the time, but she said, it doesn't get much attention because I'm just Aubrey O'Day. I mean, she's not exactly a giant star like Kanye West or Boozy Badass. Is Boozy Badass a huge star? I honestly don't know. I know his name.
No.
I think we've talked about him once because he does a podcast now.